Things are starting to heat up when you talk women's basketball in Australia. We're at round 17 and we still don't know what the makeup of the playoffs is going to be this 2016-17 season. Tonight, a game that just might define the fortunes of two teams. The Jayco Dandenong Rangers playing host to the JCU Townsville Fire. Stephen King in the host chair tonight alongside me, five-time WNBL champion, 280-odd games, a Oprah representative of the World Champs of 1990, and all-round great lady. Tracy Browning, a very good evening to you.
Good evening, Kingy. Great to be here. Really looking forward to this clash. And this is only the second time this season that Townsville and Dandenong have met, so it's going to be very interesting.
Of course, they last met back in October, haven't met since, and will play each other next week. Yeah,
look, it's just another little anomaly of the fixture, but, you know, they're both different teams since October, and both have had a few up and downs during the year, and Rangers coming off a little bit of a disappointing loss last week will be wanting to be focused right from the very first tip-off.
Of course, the Rangers enter the round 14 and 6 second spot. They surrendered top spot after losing to Perth last week to the Sydney Uni Flames. The Fire sit fourth and they are notionally fourth, 11 and 9, because the two teams behind them, Canberra and Bendigo, also hold 11 and 9 records, but on the plus minus, if you're building a mini ladder between the three, Townsville, courtesy of a big 30-point win over Canberra early in the season, are actually plus 33, Bendigo and minus 2, and Canberra minus 31. The interesting thing is, they have to play each other once before the season is out, including Townsville going to Bendigo tomorrow.
That's right. This weekend is a really tough weekend for Townsville. So, yep, that road trip down to Bendigo tomorrow is going to be tough after a tough game tonight, I'm tipping. So, yeah, look, the next 2 weeks are just going to be fantastic, and I reckon it'll go right down to the last game.
And then we've got Super Saturday to round out the season in round 19. There's 4 games, every team in action. It's a staggered start. I think they basically start within half an hour of each other. There is one last game, Bendigo and Perth, which may tell a story as well come, of course, February 19, the last day of the regular season. Making things a little bit tougher, Trace, for the Townsville Fire is that they've come without their important Natasha Cloud.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge out for them, and look, no doubt that they'll be ready to adjust and other players will step up. But it makes that, you know, the defensive focus for the Rangers will no doubt be on Susie Bakovic, who's having a great second half of the year.
With Natasha Cloud out, Kelly Wilson, of course, as we know, had that broken ankle and missed 10 games. She's been back in the lineup now for the best part of a month. She will start in place of Natasha Cloud, but she's only been averaging around 12 to 13 minutes a game since she has come back. So with a double header, it'll be interesting to see how Claudia Brassard uses her over the next couple of days.
Yeah, and I would think sparingly, but you never know. Like, you know, that final's around the corner and every game is an important game for Townsville. So, you know, we might see an improvement in her tonight.
Interesting looking at the Dandenong Rangers starting lineup. Jacinta Kennedy is going to make a rare start, and I suspect that will be to combat Bakovic.
Yeah, and I think that's a good move by Larissa Anderson, putting Jacinta Kennedy in the starting 5. She's experienced, she's played on Susie a lot, she knows her game inside out. And, you know, she started Jacinta a couple of times this season for similar roles, so I think it's a good move.
That means, obviously, pushes Lauren Scherf back to the bench. Lauren hasn't been great. She had that big 21-point game back in November against Adelaide, but since then has only scored double figures twice.
Yeah, and look, Lauren's young. I think she's only 21 or 22, and she's, you know, this is her first time starting in a WNBL program, and she's having a hell of an opportunity this season. And, you know, she's had a bit of ups and downs, like you said. So maybe this you know, coming in off the bench will be good for her to assess the game, come in and do what's needed.
And Ali Malott then also coming off the bench. Ali Malott is in some sort of form. She's averaging 15.5 points a game in 2017.
She's just had a phenomenal year. An interesting stat too from last week's game, Rangers had 38 points off from the bench players, which is any coach would just be wrapped with that. So yeah, looking forward to watching Ali tonight.
Last time they met, of course, was back on the 21st of October. Talking about changes, we're now in obviously the middle of summer, and in Melbourne today some cars have got up to near the 40-degree mark and it's been warm outside. That night it absolutely threw down rain on the Monash Freeway for those making their way here to the Nonga Dome. It was a 92-65 win, a 27-point win for Dandenong. They took 25 more shots that night. They had 12 less turnovers, and the points off turnovers was 30-6. So there's some key numbers from last time the two sides met.
They are very key numbers, Kingy. But as you say, it's going to be a very different game, very different circumstances here. It's very warm here in Melbourne today, and it's warm inside the stadium. So I'm tipping a close one.
Townsville will like it being in here. This will very much remind them of being back at the RSL Stadium in Townsville.
Yeah, it certainly will. And as I said, I think Townsville will be wanting to, and especially players like Susie, she'll be hungry for another, crack at finals. She doesn't want to go out of the finals, so I reckon she'll be up for this game today.
Rangers Live, of course, thanks to Jayco, Australia's favourite caravan manufacturer, where the family holiday becomes a family tradition. Jayco.com.au. Don't forget social media, Facebook, WNBL, Dandenong, Jayco Rangers, Twitter at Jayco Rangers, and Instagram, Jayco Rangers, as we pause for the Australian. The 14-6 Dandenong Rangers taking on the 11-9 Townsville Fire. Of course, the Rangers a 10-point loss to Perth. Large majority of the rest of, everybody else has got a double header in there.
And, I think Sydney have got Adelaide, Boomers and Rangers. So you would expect them to win against Boomers and Adelaide in the last 3 games. And Sydney are on fire. They've won the last 6 in a row. They're looking the goods at the moment.
Cheryl Chambers has done a wonderful job with that roster. Last night, round 17 opened with Adelaide hosting the University of Canberra Capitals, and it was the Caps 74 over the Lightning 66. Mariana Tolo with 20 points and 9 rebounds. Lauren Mansfield with 18. Michaela Roof, 11 points and 20 rebounds.
I did see that stat. That's a phenomenal amount of rebounds. That's just fantastic.
Last year's Rookie of the Year, Alex Chabatoni, was 17 for the Lightning. Laura Hodges with 16. Tomorrow, Perth hosting Canberra as they continue their Doomsday double. Bendigo hosting Townsville as they complete a very tough Victorian Road double. And Melbourne taking on the Sydney Uni Flames. And Guy Malloy, of course, Guy and Cheryl having spent some time together coaching-wise, they'll enjoy going up against each other. And Guy would love to just put a little bit of a pin through the balloon that is just floating nicely for the moment.
He would too, and it was a similar situation when the Boomers played the Rangers on their 25th anniversary celebration. They wanted to try and spoil the party, and Melbourne Boomers will be looking to try and beat Sydney again in the same fashion.
And celebrating their 33rd birthday in the competition, the Boomers, coming in as Bulleen back in 1984.
Yeah, 33 years, that's fantastic for a club to stay around that long. Obviously, the Melbourne Boomers part's only been in the last 2 or 3 years, but I'm sure they're on their way to building their own solid history.
Used to love the old days of the Benito Club.
Yeah, so did I.
People hanging over those rafters at either end of the floor.
Oh, look, it was a great fun atmosphere, wasn't it? But, it just couldn't continue. There wasn't enough room to pack all the crowd in.
They were drawing good numbers there during their glory days there were the Boomers. And, tonight we've got a clash that you just don't know how it's going to fall. The Dandenong, for a side that is 14-6, you'd have to say it's been an inconsistent 14-6.
Yeah, very much so. Dandenong have had a couple of very slow starts this season too, and another one last week. So, I think they would have worked hard this week at training on being focused right from the very start of the game. And, Perth had a 31-point first quarter last week. We just can't allow that to happen against a team like Townsville.
How do you negate those slow starts? Is that something on Larissa, or is that on the players?
I think it's probably. It's not the coach's job to motivate you. You need to be self-motivated, and I think it's just a mental thing. Get out there. All five players that are starting are all on the same page. We're all going to get it up in their jocks, and everybody needs to be fired up right from the start. And Dandenong have had at least 4 or 5 games where they've been under pressure and playing catch-up basketball because of that slow start. So we don't want to do that today.
And obviously the other carrot dangled in front of them. They win. They go to 15-6. They then basically put Townsville to bed in terms of not being able to be caught record-wise, and also obviously then win the season series, which they lead 1-0 at the moment. It's best of 3, so plus-minus means nothing despite the 27-point win. So it's probably just ticking off the boxes in terms of, that's a team that can't replace us in the top 4.
That's right. And, a win today is not going to assure Dandenong a 1 or 2 finish, but it's certainly going to help over the next couple of weeks. So, and like you said earlier, the amount of games over the next couple of weeks that are going to determine the finals positions is really it's going to be very interesting.
Got a 7-3 record at home, one of 4 teams that have got that record. It's the equal best in the competition. Perth, Townsville and the University of Canberra Capitals also at 7-3. As the head of the WNBL, Sally Phillips, has just made her way past us and carrying some memorabilia into the crowd, but also carrying her Fight Youth Homelessness bottle from the Unite Project. And of course, it's hashtag Rangers Unite Night. It's the Cotton On Foundation, based out of Geelong actually, but they run the Unite Project tackling youth homelessness. On any one night, there are 26,000 youth living on the streets of Australia, which is an unacceptable figure.
It is very unacceptable, and we're so proud of our own Rangers, Sarah Blitzarves, who is the first female ambassador for the Unite Project, and today is all about raising money. $3.50 from every ticket sold today goes to the Unite Project, so everybody's behind it, and I think we've got a little fun thing happening at half-time, don't we, Kingy?
Yeah, it's a bit of a battle of the sexes kick-off with a footy,
yeah,
I think.
I heard that whisper.
Now, Mark Blitzarves, Geelong footballer, brother of course, Sarah. Al Downey, former Dandenong great, well, not former Dandenong great, he's a Dandenong great.
Dandenong legend.
Now playing with Carlton in the
now
women's
Blue
AFL.
Girl, yep.
And made a successful debut last night. Are going to be involved. I think Jed Hughes might also be involved, another Cats player, as part of it, as one of the ambassadors. So looking forward to that at half-time. You'll see that the girls are wearing pink socks, which is the colour of the Unite Project, and also black
To start.
Kennedy went with the little head fake and got past Susie Bakovic, who's been called for the reach-in foul by referee Carey down on the baseline. And good little veteran play from Jacinta Kennedy getting Susie in the air.
Couldn't quite see that from where we were. It didn't look like there was a lot in it, and Susie's certainly not happy, but the referee's call.
Better position than, of course, we are. We are at the other end of the floor, the left of your screen. Of course, this first period is Blitzarves has now got 6.
Sarah Blitzarves is on fire early in this first quarter. It's great to see.
We're here thanks to Latrobe Financial in this opening period. Australia's leading credit specialist, latrobefinancial.com.au is the place you can find them. Murray pushes the pass. Wilson, a little jab step and got past Blitzarves.
And the Rangers have changed up their defence a little bit here into a matchup zone.
Standish strong at the basket, and it's a nice finish from Kayla Standish. Of course, if you only just joined us, Townsville coming here this evening without Natasha Cloud, who's sidelined with an ankle injury and will miss this Victorian doubleheader for the defending champs. And a long three from Michaela Cox, and we're all tied away at 8.
A good-looking three there from Michaela Cox. She's averaging 8 a game this season as well.
And shooting the three, just a tick over 35%. Novosel off balance, and shot was off the mark. And they want to push the ball here. Townsville strong at the basket. Cox draws some contact. And we'll head to the line for the first free throws of the evening. And then the foul called on Nat Novosel. She picks up her first. Of course, Nat starting at Dandenong, and then going to Townsville, and coming back to Dandenong.
Yes.
What's she doing next year?
Staying at Dandenong, hopefully.
Michaela Cox knocks down the first of 2. So the only game on the Saturday of round 17 is this one. I hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're watching. Stephen King and Tracy Browning bringing you the action. 3 games tomorrow: Perth and the University of Canberra, Bendigo and Townsville, and Melbourne and the Sydney Uni Flames to do battle at the State Basketball Centre here in Melbourne. Clydesdale for 3 and for $300 for the Unite Project, but left it short. So if there's a margin...
That's great defensive help there from Novosel on the weak side.
If we do get a margin put on either side, we might see some threes being jacked up late in the game. Kennedy with a strong move, but worried out of it by Bakovic.
The sponsors never offered that when I was playing, Kingy. $300 a 3.
It's not for an individual thing, Trace. It's
No, I know.
for a good cause. Standish just short with their little floater. And Novosel pushing the pass, coming, found herself on the baseline, did well to get the pass back to Clydesdale, and they've still got 15 on the shot clock. Clydesdale, as Wilson went to go under the screen and in gambling left it open for Clydesdale's jumper, but she...
Oh, great steal there from Clydesdale.
Knocked it away from the grasp of Kelly Wilson. But got back defensively well, did Mia Murray. Novosel. Kennedy puts it on the floor, pass Bakovic, and then drew some contact from Mia Murray. And maybe Jacinta's just been given that license to...
Yeah, I think she has.
Drag Susie out, firstly, the key. Make her defend her high, and then if she can put it on the floor and get past her.
Yep, that no doubt would have been the instruction given to Jacinta, and she's done that so far.
Age 34 now, Jacinta. I believe the husband might be involved in the halftime challenge too. There was some rumour that Josh,
really?
of course, former Socceroo. Of course, we talk about Jacinta being 34, but in basketball terms, if you think of the time she spent away from the game, she's still late 20s.
Yeah, that's right. Look, she's still in great shape, and she's still holding her own out there, and there's no reason why she can't keep playing for another 2 or 3 years.
Standing on with the press, but it's broken down. And Bakovic with her first points of the evening under the basket. And it's Townsville leading 12-10. Long three from coming in and out. Blitzarv's athletically flying through, couldn't haul in the rebound.
So the Rangers have missed 3 or 4 shots in a row the last 3 or 4 times down the floor, so probably just need to settle a bit.
Cumming deflected the Cox pass, but only back to Wilson. Murray, a little crossover dribble, but good defense from Kennedy, and then the block as well. Murray comes again, and the little scoop is good. She stuck at the task well, Mia Murray. And Townsville lead by 4. But Jacinta Kennedy got all Spalding there.
It's a shame the Rangers didn't come away with that possession. It was fantastic defensive play.
Blitzars with the long 2, and she is feeling it. She's got 8.
Blitzars has got the hot hand at the moment. They need to keep giving it to her while she's in form.
Great free-flowing start to this one. Standish back to the corner. Cox fit of the fumbles, but able to get it back. Wilson also maybe a little bit sticky out there with the humidity inside the Dandenong Stadium. And then Cox, and we got a shot clock violation as Cox's left-hand attempt flew over the rim. And it'll be a Rangers ball. Ali Malott check in for the first time, but that will come after a timeout with 3:42 remaining. 14-12 is the lead for the visiting Townsville Fire over the Jayco Dandenong Rangers. On, of course, Rangers Unite Night. Don't forget you can use that hashtag on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and you can follow us on Facebook, WNBL Dandenong Jayco Rangers, Twitter at Jayco Rangers, and Instagram, Jayco Rangers as well. No real feeling out between the two teams. It's been fairly hell for leather.
It's been quite close. Rangers started out, made 3 or 4 shots in a row, then Townsville sort of pegged it back. So it's very even at the moment. So no one's managed to take ascendancy as yet. What
are you liking from the Rangers defensively? They've got that matchup right with Kennedy and Bakovic? Yeah,
I think they have so far. They've got to stick it. Bakovic into foul trouble early. Perhaps that's the idea. Take the ball at her whenever Jacinta gets the opportunity. So it seems to be working at the moment.
Bakovic with just the 2 points, of course, second in scoring in the WNBL at the moment with 20.7 points a game. She's also second in rebounds at 10.6. And the other thing will be keeping her off the glass. She's already hauled in a couple of boards, but that rebound count's going to be so crucial for the Rangers if they're to win tonight.
It will be. And I think Susie Bakovic has made 6 teams of the week so far this season. Am I right about that? It's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's just such a legend of the game. 4-time league MVP. Is there anything she hasn't done?
The only thing that would stop her from being the 5-time WNBL MVP is Sammy Whitcomb.
Sammy Whitcomb. I was just about to say, she's just had a superb season, hasn't she?
4 times MVP, 4 times scoring average, 5 times All-Star.
Yeah.
Throw in some Olympic medals.
Yep, she's just a legend.
So we see Ali Malott and Amelia Todd-Hunter for the first time tonight for Dandenong, and we'll see Darcy Garvin for the first time for Townsville. Cumming finds herself in a bit of trouble baseline, and then with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, Kelly Wilson knocks it away from Ali Malott.
I love seeing Amelia Todd-Hunter check into the game because I know we're in for some exciting steals, some pressure, some hustle.
And the occasional big rebound too for somebody so short. Malott off the dribble. And starts off where she finished last week against Perth. And has had a fantastic start to 2017, averaging 15.5 points a game, which is well above her season average of 11.7. Of course, first year in the competition. And the University of Dayton, and of course on the Washington Mystics roster with Natasha Cloud, who's not here tonight. with that ankle injury for Townsville, which is a blow. Coming off the dribble. And her first points of the night.
Yes, and I think we were mentioning pre-game, it was a very unusual event last week for Steph to go scoreless.
Considering in the previous meeting against Perth, well, earlier in the season meeting, she had 31.
Yeah.
And then went scoreless.
Unbelievable.
Down low, Garbin.
Great use of the body by Garbin.
Just got Nat Novosel on her hip and was able to finish with the left and tie things up at 16. She was 0 of 8 last week. Steph 0 of 4 from outside. Sometimes you can just have one of those nights.
Absolutely, nothing goes right.
Todd Hunter under the basket, got it to fall and drew the contact.
That's what I'm talking about.
Something happens when the spark plug gets injected into the game, Amelia Todd Hunter.
Every time. If she's not stealing the ball, she's hustling on D and she's taking a rebound.
She is a WNBL's version of the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, she is.
So Standish and Cox sit down, and Amy Kane in for the first time this evening. It's the other American on the roster, with Kayla Standish, of course, playing as a naturalised Australian. Came out of the University of San Diego. It's 19-16 lead. Dandenong with under 2 minutes to play.
And
tough move from Wilson. And then the putback, Bakovic. Little step back on 1 foot. That is a signature.
She loves that step back shot. It is.
Signature move from Susie Bakovic. Cumming the pull-up jumper at the
and
other end.
And that's a signature move for Steph Cumming as well.
So she gets herself out of the funk of last week. She's got 4. Margin stays at 3 in what's been an entertaining opening period for Latrobe Financial, Australia's leading credit specialist, latrobefinancial.com.au. Murray has to retrieve the situation under the basket.
Good
and
defensive pressure there from the Rangers.
Draws a 3-second violation call from referee Baddock. And Rosie Faljevic will spend some time on the Townsville roster, played 46 games for the Fire.
The Rangers managed to push the Fire out of their offense a little bit that last time. They really stepped up their defensive pressure.
Under 90 seconds to play in this first quarter. Rangers Live bringing you Dandenong and Townsville. Round 17 WNBL action as the block from Garbin.
And Todd Hunter gets the steal, possession back.
Cumming fighting for it, and we've got a contested possession, and the arrow will be with Townsville. That block of Darcy Garbin on Ellen Malott was nice. Just timed it perfectly from behind and was able to get a good piece of the ball. And good defensive stop. Minute 6 to play. Now on Rangers Unite night, of course, supporting the Unite project and tackling youth homelessness across Australia as part of the Cotton On Foundation's commitment to the community. Murray's feed down low, and Bakovic has got it to fall. That's a tough move from Susie Bakovic. Lauren Scherf with the 2 hands in the back, just trying to nudge her out of position. And Susie with a heads-up play and got it to bank in.
I think Susie just beat her with that quick first step there. Just that 1 step too quick for her.
Bakovic now is 6 and 3 in the opening period. And we haven't seen a lot of Susie, but when she's had the ball in hand,
she's made something happen. Correct.
That's what the good players do.
Yep.
7 points for Susie Bakovic. We're locked away at 21. Don't think we're going to get that 27-point margin we saw back in round 3.
No, far from, or not at this stage anyway.
Cumming guarded by Kame, works off a Malott screen. And then Scherf at the other end wants to go over Bakovic, but is off the mark. And Kame has lost control of the dribble, but just able to scoop it into the path of Kelly Wilson. Bakovic wants to see it, and then a quick step as she went baseline and finished reverse. That is something to behold.
Oh my God, that is just awesome.
So final shot.
Susie had that look in her eye then, and she's like, right, well, I've got the youngster on me. I'm going to get this ball and take it.
Game clock inside the shot clock by about half a second. They're still running the shot clock, don't need to be. Cumming, Faljevic, the feed. Scherf back to the basket's got to get it up. Tough move, can't get it to fall. And that will take us to quarter time. And it's a 23-21 lead to the visiting Townsville Fire. First quarter thanks to Latrobe Financial, Australia's leading credit specialist, latrobefinancial.com.au. Rangers Live, thanks to Jayco, Australia's favourite caravan manufacturer, where the family holiday becomes a family tradition. But Susie Bakovic really stamping her imprimatur on the game in that final couple of minutes, Trace.
Yep, she did. And I think when the Rangers made that change and Lauren Scherf came in, I think Lauren perhaps was playing perhaps too close to her. Might just need to give her that, hand that step there. Susie beat her a couple of times off the first step.
9 opening quarter points for Susie Bakovic. At the other end, Sarah Blitzars with 8. Sarah was that first half, was Sarah Blitzars' first half of the opening quarter, and then it was Susie Bakovic's second half.
Yeah, correct. Sarah was on fire early, which is a great sign for the Rangers. Need to get her involved more in the game, and obviously Townsville would have made that defensive adjustment to try and shut it down. So we're in for a very entertaining second quarter.
Last time they met, there was a 25 field goal attempt difference between the two sides. Townsville actually put more shots up at quarter time this time around. They're 9 of 18, Dandenong 9 of 17. So both teams, getting good looks, but making them.
Yeah, that's right, and that's the difference at this stage. The difference is only 2 points, and it might be a little bit of a nervous start from both teams. There's a lot at stake in this game.
Townsville with 14 points in the paint, and a lot of that to do with, obviously, with Bakovic, but also the work of the likes of Mia Murray and Kayla Standish.
Yep. I think too with Susie, sometimes you might have to move away from your team defensive rules, and if she's got the ball down low, we just need to double down on that and just take that scoring option away from her.
So a good crowd has rolled in on this Rangers Unite night. Warm old day in Melbourne. Mercury getting into the high 30s, and this place never gets overly cool. No. The aircon is blowing, but
the Ranger Dome is not known for the air conditioning. It's not as bad in here as I thought it might have been before I walked in. I think it's been on since 5 a.m.
The way I'm going, I might be riding the top weight tomorrow at Motoa. Over the jumps.
Of course.
Yeah, probably not on the flat yet. But if it stays like this, you just don't know. Second period about to get underway thanks to Berwick Mazda, where we'll find the right vehicle for you. Head in and take a test drive. Check them out at berwickmazda.com.au. Don't forget to join us on social media. Facebook, WNBL Dandenong Jayco Rangers. Twitter at Jayco Rangers. And, of course, Instagram, Jayco Rangers.
Scherf with that fierce brushback move.
There seems to be a real intent. As Blitzar's hint of a travel as she went the crossover and then overcooked the two, and Faljevic, good offensive rebound. I think Lauren Scherf might have been just spurred into action by having the start taken away from her for the veteran.
Yeah, I think so, and that's a good thing sometimes.
A lot off the dribble and knocked it down. She was taking a lot of those shots in the warm-up and barely missed. And then Ellie Malott really, that little step off the dribble is been able to get her enough separation and using it to good effect. Really finding her feet in the WNBL as Scherf, in trying to knock that away from Bakovic, got right in the back of the veteran and picks up what will be her second foul. So Larissa Anderson looks down the bench and has a chat to Jacinta Kennedy.
Make that change, yeah. I think that's a good move.
Jacinta hasn't played big minutes this year. I suppose that's the thing Larissa's got to keep in mind. That.
Yep, that's right. Need to keep resting her, get her in and out of the game. And let's hope Lauren Scherf doesn't sort of hang her head, being subbed out so early. She just needs to settle down, take a look at the game.
She's playing, and obviously 2 fouls. I'd hate to have picked up a third.
That's right.
A long two from Mia Murray, and Amy Kane comes up with the offensive board. Wilson has the pass picked up by Faljevic. Got herself in the passing lane well there, did Rosie.
She does the 1%ers really well, Rosie.
As Kane knocks it out of the grasp of the opposite number 15, Sarah Blitzarves. There'll be a Rangers ball, 16 left on the shot clock. Feed down low from Malott.
That's a great feed.
Kennedy with the move.
And the old left hand step around. Great shot from Jacinta Kennedy.
Great to watch a couple of veterans just showing their class. Wilson, bounce pass back out for Mia Murray, who overcooks the three. And Malott somehow holding that rebound, did really well and wants to get on with it. Blitzarves. Oh, and then straight down the middle of Mia Murray.
Mia Murray she had great position there.
When you're copping them right down the number on the front of the singlet, it's usually an offensive foul.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't think Sarah Blitzarves was going to argue with that call.
Quickly got on with it, just gave the ball up and said, yep, got me for that.
Yep.
25-23, Dandenong lead early in this second period. And nearly a turnover. Clydesdale is judged to have knocked it back onto Michaela Cox. Cox is arguing the toss with referee Baddick. But it'll be a Dandenong ball after all of that. And still making her case, and I don't think referee Baddick's going to change it.
No, you don't often see the referees change their mind.
Faljevic, long two is a little bit long. And Cox has come up and nearly turned it over again on that sideline, and Faljevic nearly picked off the pass meant for Murray, but Murray was able to get it to Bakovic, who then, well, not only drew the foul on Malott, but gave Malott the poke in the eye as well with the little fend off.
And made the shot.
Got it to fall. She's got 11. Malott picks up the foul and is just collecting her thoughts and ties thing up at 25. So that's getting value. You score, draw the foul, and give your opponent a bit of a clip as you go as well. Inadvertently, yes. I must say. There was nothing
there was nothing untoward about that. No. It might have been a bit of a silly foul there by Malott.
She may have just got the word from the referees just to say, careful with your fend-offs.
Yep.
For the lead. And Bakovic has got 12 and is putting on a display in the low block. Coming. Was looking for a handoff, I think, and it just nobody came to receive.
That's great use of the body. Just mishandled the ball there.
Yeah, she was making the move before she received the Spalding. Tough shot from Clydesdale, and momentum was always taking it the other way. And Townsville can look to extend this 1 point advantage. Bakovic wants to do it from outside now, and she does. Susie Bakovic has got 15. And the margin is now 4.
She's really proving to be a headache for the Rangers. Inside and out.
Well, and it gives Jacinta Kennedy something else to think about, but Susie's made that 3. She's Blitzarves under the basket. Kane will draw contact, and Blitzarves will go to the line.
She did well to catch that ball and reel it in. It was a very athletic catch.
I suspect now that 3's been made, Jacinta's just going to have to extend. And
extend that pressure just a little bit.
That quick first step of Susie's
yep.
will get put to good use. I suspect there might be some clear out going on underneath the Townsville basket. Sarah Blitzarves, who started in a blaze of glory, had 8 points in the first 5 minutes of play. That's now her 9th. So at one end it's Bakovic, at the other it's Blitzarves. And she actually takes a seat. Nat Novosel checks in. Some real depth about the Rangers roster. It's just how, I suppose, they use it.
And how they match up against the opposition. Yeah, very, very, very good depth.
So Faljevic has got
use of the body.
Bakovic, but Amy Kane.
Great job by Kane.
Was able to receive the pass down low and finish. Margin again 4. Novosel off the dribble. Clydesdale, little head fake and then put it on the floor and then ran herself into all sorts of trouble. And
she was never going to make that shot. She was in amongst the tall timber.
Kayla Standish was able to rip it away. Bakovic for another 3, this time off the mark. And Clydesdale, good strong rebound in front of Standish. And then wants to put it on the floor going the other way. And Susie Bakovic got a piece of it and is arguing that she knocked it onto the thigh of Amy Clydesdale, but the call is with the Rangers. She quickly argued it and then realised, as a veteran at 36, they're not changing it. Might as well devote my energies elsewhere. Faljevic, long 2 in and out. Came the rebound. Guarded by Todd Hunter. Standish wants it down low and she's got good position on Faljevic, who all she can do is hang on to Kayla Standish and draw a contact before.
Townsville are running smart offense. They're using their body well, hitting the open man. They've just got a little bit of momentum at the moment, Townsville.
So going with a smaller lineup here, Dandenong. So Faljevic basically playing the 5 and Blitzarv's the 4, with 3 guards on the floor. Novosel, Cumming and Todd Hunter. Blitzarv's the rebound this time. And the spark plug running the offense.
Let's go Rangers, let's go. Let's go Rangers, let's go. Let's go
Todd Hunter
Rangers, let's go.
off the Cumming screen. Cumming wants a feed from Todd Hunter as she able to get a mismatch on Kelly Wilson, but
Draws the
foul's
foul.
called. So second team foul called on the Fire, and second foul on Amy Kane.
The Rangers have been a little bit scrappy the last few times down on offense, and Townsville Fire aren't giving them any easy shots.
Yeah, defense has really taken over in this second period, thanks to Beric Mazda. Blitzars goes behind the back, and then a little crossover, and then the step back, and couldn't get the shot to fall, but it looked nice. Kelly Wilson back the other way. Cox the feed for Bakovic, being guarded by Blitzarves, and then turns the corner and finishes beautifully.
Move.
She's got 17 and she's unstoppable at the moment, Susie Bakovic. All her smarts. She spun baseline, just gave it too much latitude. The lead is 6 as Blitzarves loses control of the dribble, and it's out of court, and I think Larissa wants a timeout. She does, with 5:04 to play.
You know, and that, not that time, but the time before down there when Sarah Bookards had a bit of a shake and bake in the corner there. I don't think that's the kind of score you're looking for, the kind of shot you're looking for when the last 3 or 4 times down the floor you haven't been able to score, you know. Just need to run some offense and get a good open look.
Bakovic, 17 points on 7 of 8 shooting. Her only miss was a 3.
That's an amazing percentage.
So
she's definitely the difference at the moment.
Anything below the charge circle, she's money at the moment, Susie Bakovic, as she has been for much of her career.
Yep.
At the other end, it's only really Blitzarves that's providing any real offensive threats. Steph Cumming just not getting the shot. She's only put 3 shots up so far.
It's sort of similar shades of last week. Okay, I think was it 1 or 2 shots went very quiet. I'd like to see Amy Clydesdale step up a little bit, Kingy, and maybe get into the scorers amongst the scoring. Show a bit of leadership there in the point guard role.
She's 0 of 3, Amy Clydesdale. The Rangers shooting at 45%, but Townsville outstanding at the moment, shooting at 50%. And they're 37% from outside. On a night where Festool, a sponsor of the Rangers, is putting up $300 to the Unite project.
We haven't made one.
Haven't made a 3 yet. It's Murphy's Law, isn't it?
It is Murphy's Law. But this first half, particularly this quarter, Townsville have just been smart, methodical, used their bodies well, taken the open, easy shot.
Just extending the pressure up the floor here, Dandenong. Trying to deny the inbounds. Wilson's able to get it over and get it to Cox. Standish. And it's knocked away. Novosel's going to come up with it and go strong at the basket. Standish lets her have it.
It's a great finish there from Novosel. Great steal and finish. And that's...
Margin back to 4, exactly what Larissa would have wanted out of the timeout.
Yep.
Good defensive stop and a score. After Townsville just started to assume some control of this contest. Kame is short on the 3. Bakovic hits the floor. Kame got the O board. She can't make the clean-up.
The Rangers were lucky on that occasion that Townsville didn't make that shot on their second effort.
And Steph coming over the outstretched hand of Michaela Cox. Gets it to fall, and now Claudia Brassard wants a timeout after 4 consecutive points out of the Dandenong timeout for the Rangers, and they've cut the margin back to 2. Steph Cumming wondering why she didn't get the call on that shot, but looks Cox was straight up with the defence, and Cumming hitting the floor incidentally.
Yeah, that looked good defensive position to me. Well, this is a game of ebbs and flows, isn't it, Kingy? Like that Rangers last 4 on the trot. And Townsville, that was a smart time out there by Townsville, stopping that run.
The defensive intensity of Dandenong just stepping up in those couple of plays, get a couple of stops, but I suppose converting at the other end is the key. You've got to convert those turnovers.
Yeah, and that's what they really need to do, convert from those steals and Look, I know I said it before, but I'd really like to see Amy Clydesdale come into her own and show some leadership, take some control, perhaps run some plays for herself, get herself open. She's a great player, and she sort of hasn't played up to her potential this season.
Yeah, it's playing game 111 tonight, Amy Clydesdale. He's averaging just a tick under 9 points per game, which is well up on her career average, coming in at just over 3. So in terms of output offensively, well and truly providing what's required. She's a 5th leading scorer for Larissa Anderson's Chargers. Can the Fire stop this mini run of the hometown Rangers? Second quarter, thanks to Beric Mazda. Kane guarded by Cumming in the corner. Bakovic back to the basket. Kicked it out for Standish. And then Cox goes baseline and then reverse. Can't finish. Drew some contact from Todd Hunter, who nearly had it stolen by Cumming. Long two to tie things up is off the mark.
And on that last defensive play there, we saw Sarah Blitzar's match up on Susie Bakovic, so I think that's probably a smart move too. It's a big ask for Sarah, but she can certainly match it with her athletically, Kingy.
And in the margin, all of a sudden, back out to 5. A chance to lock things up, the Rangers, but get hit with the max. Coming skip pass, Malott. Is this for $300? It is.
It is the first.
Unite night. Cox, margin back to 2. Bakovic, hint of a travel, not a hint of a travel it was. I'm always of the theory, if it looks like it, it probably is.
I agree.
And a good call there by referee Baddick.
I think the look on Susie's face is more frustration than arguing that it wasn't.
Susie with 17 points on 87% shooting is putting on some sort of display as the Rangers have nearly turned it over. Well done by Cumming, kept her head well, was able to use her pivot foot to swing back at Nat Novosel and make the pass. Shot clock at 10. Todd Hunter coming off the Malott screen. Tough move with the left hand from the Spark Plug.
That's a fantastic move for the Spark Plug. That's her new nickname, the Spark Plug. Great move.
Wilson. Guarded by Todd Hunter. Wants to go off the back of the screen, but it actually goes low. Cox again for 3. Maybe we should have said Danny Nong and Michaela Cox. Should have got to pick a wild card from Townsville that their threes counted as well. Little step through from Cumming.
Oh, that's bad luck. That deserved to go in.
And Wilson comes up with it. The feed for Bakovic, guarded by Malott.
That's good, D.
Left-hand shot won't fall.
Susie comes up with that. Great effort.
And they get another 14. And off the ball, Malott and Garvin find themselves in a tangle. And it's Ali Malott picking up the foul. Now that's the 5th team foul too, so not a smart foul from Ali Malott. That will send Darcy Garvin to the line for a couple of free throws. Steph Cumming sits down, Amy Clydesdale checks back in. And a chance to push the lead again out to 5 for Darcy Garvin. All the way from Kalgoorlie.
Kalgoorlie, lovely little spot. You been to Kalgoorlie?
I've been to Kalgoorlie.
It's a fantastic little town.
It was once a lawless society, wasn't it, once upon a time? A lot of stuff used to go on there.
So the legend goes, yeah. But it's just a fantastic little town. Great people. I've been there a couple of times.
Get Perth to take a game there one year and we'll go and cover it.
Now that'd be great.
Todd Hunter for 3 off the mark, but the offensive board, Clydesdale just able to haul it in. Todd Hunter's got another look at a 3 if she wants it. Well, it would have been from deep. Now she's off the dribble and then runs into Bakovic. And there should be a foot violation called there. There is. Which there didn't need to be in the end because Nat Novosel knocked down the shot from the corner. Always happens. They're a bit delayed with the whistle, the referees. And there'll be a fresh 14 seconds for Dandenong. They trail by 5. Minute 20 to play in the second period, thanks to Berwick Mazda. berwickmazda.com.au, where we will find the right vehicle for you. Head in and take a test drive. Novosel, that was ugly off the hand.
Yeah,
It never looked like
it wasn't the prettiest shot.
Cox, who's feeling it from outside,
And
but
that's
she
a trouble.
dragged the pivot foot as she went to go. She's not happy with the call.
So it's got a bit scrappy in the last sort of minute and a half.
Claudia Broussard, just a quiet word with referee Kelly. Little handoff, Novosel, long two, and just off the mark. But well done by Malott just to tap it back to Novosel, and they'll get another 14. Malott, that's for 3, but it's off the mark also. So from outside, cold at the moment, the Rangers, who trail by 5, and a chance to push this lead out to 7 or 8 in the shadows of halftime for the visiting Townsville Fire. Murray takes the look at a 3, and the margin is 8.
That looked in from the moment it left her hand.
Murray with 5. It's been Cox and Bakovic doing the damage. They have 28 between them, 17 for Bakovic, 11 for Cox. And Dandenong will have the final say in this second period. Novosel wants to take it strong at Garvin and left it well short in that Novosel. Is there time for a shot? No, Murray. And, gee, she gave it a good look, but it was after the halftime buzzer. And it's the Fire who will take an 8-point lead into the main break. They're here without import Natasha Cloud, their key playmaker, but Kelly Wilson, who's only been averaging around 12 or 13 minutes a game since coming back from her broken leg or broken ankle, has played 17 minutes and just running things around the court nicely for the Fire. Bakovic, though, the star, 17 points and 7 rebounds, while Cox with 11 points, while for the Rangers, it's Sarah Blitzarves with 10 leading the whale, and Ali Malott with 7. So it's a 44-36 lead to the visitors. Game 1 of 2 for them of the Victorian Road Doll, of course, off to Bendigo tomorrow, while the Rangers looking to lock away a playoff berth and improve to 15-6. Plenty left in this one. We'll take a break. Back shortly on Rangers Live. Thanks to Jayco, Australia's favourite caravan manufacturer, where the family holiday becomes a family tradition. Jayco.com.au.
The ladies first, is that the way we're going? Let's get your hands going for that. Here we go. Clap, clap, clap. Get in. Here we go, Andrew Blues, Geelong legend, supporter of the United Project.
What does it look like? I'm going to talk about Jeff Hughes just in a sec because we're going to see him out here at three-quarter time. But what does it look like your involvement with the Unite project? What sort of stuff do you get up to and how do you help them out?
Well, it's all about selling water. So we just try to raise awareness about the fight that the Unite project have on their hands. Trying to stop the 26,000 people who obviously are couch surfing or struggling to find a place to crash for the night. So we just try and raise awareness with our social media. We come to events like this, we help sell the water. And if we see cafes not selling the water, we ask them to try and sell it for us. So yeah, it's a great cause and so far so good. The best thing about the Unite project too is if you buy the water in the region, it goes back towards the region. So you buy water in Geelong, it's helping fight against homelessness in the Geelong region.
That's really cool. And really excited we heard from Sean. Like, I don't know about you guys. Did it blow your mind when you heard how many people under 24? 26,000 in Australia under 24 that are fighting homelessness.
Yeah, mate, it's crazy. I've been very fortunate to grow up with our amazing family. So as our job, we just try and raise awareness. It's a number that needs to decline. We're just here doing the small bit we can. Redman Sean's working really hard and making a difference. So this night, it's been awesome. So,
Mark, it's great to have you. Now talk about get you at half time, sorry, at three-quarter time, trying to kick a footy in the ring. You said, Jed's a better kick than me. We're going to have him trying to kick a footy in the hoop, and he's going against ex-Jayco Ranger and now Carlton Football Club legend Al Downey. What sort of a chance is Jed to be much of a kick?
I watched the Carlton Football game last night, and I thought Al was very good, so uses some strike here.
His dad set the bar very high, hitting the dribble for the half court. Hey, why don't you give Mark Whittas and the other guys from the Geelong Footy Club a round of applause? Great to have these guys here, our very own Sarah Bezos as well, fighting homelessness. You guys can help out as well by in the foyer, the raffle tonight, all the proceeds going to the Unite project. Actually, just before the foyer, right here. Just before you even get to the foyer. Now folks, we've got our Jewel Empire dance crew here. Who wants to see it come out and bust a little move? Let's go, make some noise. I'm going to hand the mic over to Troy. They don't dance unless you make noise, so you need to get up and about and get them up for the Jewel Empire dance crew.
Let's give Nathan a big round of applause for doing so well every single game. DJ Congo, let's get some music on. Let's get the kids out here. And we're going to do it a little bit differently today. We're going to demonstrate some of the styles that we teach in the studio. So, first of all, let's get everyone clapping their hands. Clap along with the dancers. Clap, clap, clap. Here we go. All right. I reckon we're going to start with some hip-hop. So I'm going to get the three girls in the Jewel Empire crew. Come out here. I reckon it's time for a little bit of popping and waving, okay? Popping and waving. One of the original kind of styles that uses the body to hit hard and be fluid at the same time. That's enough of big kids. I want to see 1955, so I'm going to get mini hoods out here. Put your hands together for mini hoods, ladies and gentlemen. Ready, and 5, 6, 7, 8, go. 1, 2.
Y'all can make a little bit more noise than that, Ranger fans. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Hey, 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 hey,
Yeah. Give a big round of applause. All right, up next we're going to get some locking. Jordan, hit me with some locking.
Can we go thrift shopping?
What? All right, we're going to clap our hands to this one. Hey, hey, hey. I reckon we're going to get some breaking, so I'm going to get Chloe to start it out here for me real quick. tempo. Up and a little. Up and a little. Because now we're going to get Chesed out here. Let's put your hands together for Chesed. Chesed's one of Melbourne United's break dancers. We're going to finish it off with one more trick, and when he lands it, you got to clap as loud as you can. Are you ready? All right, now it's time for Junior Hoods. Come and show me some Chicago footwork. 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, 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 hey. Alright. Let's give him a big round of applause so far. But now I'm going to get Taj and Logan out here just to show me some freestyling. Show me any style you want. Alright, Jewel Empire Dance Crew, get out there. We're going to finish it off with Shake That. Ready? Hype it up, hype it up. And 5, 6, 7, 8, go. One, two, three, four. Let's give these guys a big round of applause. We're going to pull them off court. All the girls get back out here. Back over to Nathan. Thank you all very much.
The entertainment keeps coming, folks. Have a little bit up for the Jewel Empire Dance Crew. As we said, coming up at three-quarter time, we've seen a half-court shootout with basketballs. We're going to try it with footies. We've got Jed Hughes from the Geelong Footy Club, Al Downing from the Carlton Footy Club women's team, best of 3 from the half-court. It's coming up at three-quarter time. But we're 4 minutes away from getting the third quarter underway, folks. And we have so much stuff to give away. We have hats from the Unite Project. We've got socks donated by the Unite Project. Our friends at school have given us basketballs. So I'm looking for the people who are making noise. I'm looking for the people that are dancing. I'm looking for the people that are cheering. We don't want you to go home empty-handed and make sure you get up and about, get around the Jayco Rangers.
Another $300 for the Unite Project. That's $600 now. Festil, a great supporter of the Rangers. There's Bakovic off the mark with the 2, and Novosel did well to haul that in. Standish was loitering with intent to get the O board. Blitzarves squares up to the basket. Then steps back over the hand of Standish and knocks down and starts.
She can make those shots.
Starts the second half as she started the first.
Yes, that's right.
She's got 15. Margin is 5. In the corner, unmarked, Cox for 3.
And she's not a player that you can leave unmarked in the corner like that, particularly with the game she's having.
Got 14 now, Michaela Cox. Novosel thought about the extra pass, but gave it to Kennedy, cutting to the basket, but the foul's called. Might be Mia Murray who will be called for a push. And her second foul. 8:12 to play in the third period, thanks to the City of Greater Dandenong, the City of Opportunity, www.greaterdandenong.com.
I think it's important early in this third quarter that Dandenong can get their offense right. They're a bit scrappy in that second period there. Not a lot of cohesion. Need to get some good shots up.
Just an adjustment made to the scoreboard. The score table had only registered as a 2 for Michaela Cox, but that has been clarified as a 3. So the margin is 8. Kennedy from the inbounds with the
beautiful shot.
Long 2. So Kennedy with now 6 points for the contest, and the margin is 6. Murray is coming closed out and just let her blow by and put it on the floor, and she too knocking down a nice jumper. She's got 7, Mia Murray. Just holding them at arm's length at the moment, Townsville. The Dandenong holding the Rangers at arm's length, and Kennedy's turned it over. Wilson in the passing lane picks it off. Thankfully Novacell and Clydesdale just getting back to ensure no clear passage to the basket. Bakovic. Little spin
That's
move.
good D there from Justina Kennedy.
But Standish with the offensive rebound. Larissa Anderson wondering why there wasn't a call for a push on the rebound. And the margin again 10. So when you think the Rangers are threatening, the Fire have got the answers. Blitzarves off balance.
She was off balance when she took that shot.
Standish wanted it fed inside. Instead, Murray for 3, and the margin is now all of a sudden 13.
They're looking very confident, Kingy.
And a timeout call by Larissa Anderson. After 5 consecutive points from the Rangers, cut the margin back to 5. They've gone on an 8-0 run in this third period to push the margin out to 13, 56-43, and some concerns now, really, for the Dandenong Rangers.
Yeah, I think Larissa Anderson will be extremely concerned. And we were just saying earlier, I wonder if they would have copped a Larissa Anderson spray at half-time. They were 8 down at half-time, not the position they would want to be in this game. And they look to be in a little bit of trouble at the moment.
And it's not just Bakovic, it's now, I suppose, a lot of attention's been drawn by Susie. It's just freeing up others to take open looks.
Yeah, and we always knew that was going to happen. Michaela Cox has had a great shooting game. She's got 14. The Rangers are really going to have to dig deep here and lift their intensity at both ends of the floor.
Mia Murray with 10 to become the third Fire player into double figures.
I think we spoke just pre-game about, perhaps not while we were on air, but about the inconsistency of the Rangers this season, and the fact that take Justina Kennedy out of that team, and they are really young. They've been up and down a lot. And even though they've been sitting, 1 and 2 on the ladder for quite some time, there's a lot of inconsistency in there.
Yeah, the next oldest is Amelia Todd Hunter at 28. And then it sort of incrementally drops from there in terms of age.
Jayco Rangers need to know that you're with them. Let me hear you make some noise for your Rangers.
But find themselves in a 13-point hole with 6:46 to play in this third period. Don't forget you can join us social media-wise. Facebook, WNBL, Dandenong, Jayco Rangers. Twitter at Jayco Rangers, and Instagram, Jayco Rangers. A lovely Steph Crawford handling all that for us.
That's a great offensive play.
Great cut to the basket.
Foul.
Can't get it to fall, though, and we'll have to get it done from the free throw line. Kayla Standish picks up the foul. Second team foul. That's been one area, especially for a very undermanned Townsville in terms of they're only really running a 7-woman rotation.
Yep.
Got Jackie Zelenka and Shavana Pelvast also suited up, but neither saw minutes in the first half of the contest.
I think Dandenong have to be smart enough to take advantage of that fat Gillian and try and get them in a little bit of foul trouble early in this third quarter, knowing that they're only rotating the 7 players.
Malott with 9. Margin is 11. Nice little feed from Wilson, and Bakovic strong.
And draws the foul.
Susie Bakovic, it's just a pleasure to watch. A player of such quality and class. She's now got 19 and will go to the line for the end one. to make the margin a game high 14 points. And really
She's giving a bit of a clinic out there today, isn't she?
making it so hard for the Rangers just to have no answer. But the feeds she's been getting too have been top quality.
Pinpoint passing.
20 for Bakovic to go with 8 rebounds and a couple of dimes, and the margin is 14. It's the biggest of the evening so far. Blitzar's behind the back and through the legs. Ree Kelly, whether that may have been a foul. So Steph coming back into the contest, and Clydesdale sits down. And Faljevic for Nat Novosel. Nat Novosel not really having an impact tonight, just the 4 points in her 19 minutes on the floor.
And we see Sarah Blitzar's back on Susie Bakovic there.
Murray, step back for 3.
Too well tonight.
A 12-0 run, and then Malott under the basket. Hit the underside of the ring, and that is Dandenong's night in a nutshell right there.
You would have to say that the last 4 or 5 times down the floor have not been the best or the smartest attempts taken by the Rangers.
Standish is fouled under the basket and will go to the line for a couple of free throws. Let's talk about some good news.
Oh yes, during the week, I think it was Thursday, Australian Opal legend Lauren Jackson gave birth to her first child, Harry. Absolutely fantastic.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Loz, if you're listening and watching.
I reckon there might be a couple of grandparents up in Albury who'd be very happy too.
I think there are.
Hello, Gary Murray.
And I think there was some talk of trying to get Harry into the Junior Rangers program in about 12 months' time, because he'd probably be tall enough.
I would think first dibs belong to the Albury Cougars.
Probably, yeah. Well, that's fair, I suppose.
And then they wanted to go through the Albury Wodonga Bandits program.
Yep.
And then see what happens from there. Other good news, former Ranger.
Oh, yes.
Or former WNBL
Legend.
star,
Yeah.
Alex Bunton, engaged during the week in all places. Moscow. Big man. They're going to have they're going to have very tall children.
Tall children.
Scream loud for those smoking basketballs. Now I need you to scream even louder again.
So yes, congratulations all around. What's that? Hatches and matches.
What was that?
Hatches and matches.
Hatches and matches.
Thankfully, we're not talking about dispatches.
Oh. They're dad jokes, Kiki.
I'm a very proud dad. I've got an 18-month-old whose favourite line is, "Dad." It's like she's worked me out already. As Standish knocks down both free throws. And the margin is now 19, and this is just about in the books, this one. 9 points.
They need to
Kayla
find
Standish.
something offensively, the Rangers. Whether that's Steph coming, whether that's Ali Malott.
No Blitzars on the floor at the moment. Oh, nearly a turnover, and it may be a turnover. No, Cox with last touch knocks it out of court, but they are just pushing them out of their offense at the moment. They've been outstanding defensively, especially through this opening 5 minutes of the third quarter, thanks to the city of Greater Dandenong. It's a 14-0 run. Kennedy, a little head fake. Bakovic wasn't falling for it that time. Just throws it up to Sinner Kennedy, and it won't fall. They somehow keep it alive. I think it might have been Todd Hunter who got a hand on it.
That's a terrific save there from Ali Malott, right in the corner.
Here's Todd Hunter, the spark plug. And she draws some contact from Bakovic on her way to the basket. I'm not sure whether it was on her way. And it will be a baseline ball for the Rangers. And, well, they're holding up a sign saying that was Susie's first. I'm sure she was called for one earlier. I think it might be her second. Either way, it's Dandenong ball. And they desperately need a score. Faljevic, can she provide it the long two in and out?
She's normally a pretty good shot, Rosie.
Yeah.
They haven't fallen for her tonight.
She's had some open looks, especially that one in the corner that she likes, but a couple of those have had good looks but not fallen. Here's Todd Hunter with the steal, and will want to turn on the afterburners with Bakovic trailing and can't finish. Bakovic did well not to give up the foul.
Fantastic
Todd
second
Hunter
effort from Todd Hunter.
Throwing her body at the ball.
That is just amazing.
Malotte's bounce pass for Cumming won't fall, draws contact off to the line. At 14-0 run is broken by a couple of Steph Cumming free throws. The margin is back to 17. Would love to have it back to 10 by three-quarter time to give themselves something to work towards. Bakovic, and she
great defense.
mows over the top of Amelia Todd Hunter, who's she got triple teamed, Susie. And the littlest one of the lot, Amelia Todd Hunter, at all 169 centimetres, about 5'5" in the old. And now we've got a technical foul.
Tee on Susie, was it?
Well, I know we've got 3:53 to play in the third, and there are 17 points of difference. But is that a turning point in the contest?
Yeah,
is that one moment we might look back at?
I kind of think it is. And, you know, we were talking before about Todd Hunter being the spark plug. She got a great steal there. She's drawn the foul. Susie's got a tee.
And now has,
so this is the turning point, perhaps.
And now has 3 fouls. We had her for one earlier. We thought she got called for one. Well, obviously the one on Todd Hunter here might not have been on Susie. Because that would have her at 4. As Cumming makes the one free throw that you get now for a
this is the first time Susie's sat down for the entire game, so we need to take advantage.
She had some time off late in the first. About a minute and a half.
She did too. Pardon me. Late in the first, yep.
Margin is 16. 3:50 to play in the third, thanks to City of Greater. Danny Nong, bit going on off the ball, and it's Kame with a foul, and they find themselves being able to work the bonus for the next 3:47, Danny Nong. So with Bakovic just taking a breather.
Yeah, and if they can get, you know, another 4, 5, 6 points here in this last, you know, 3.5 minutes, certainly clawing it back.
Need to eat into this margin. Blitzard, that was long. Just has to make the adjustment. From the line this year, Sarah Blitzard, not automatic, but a more than acceptable 78%. She makes the second, the margin is back to 15. And Nat Novosel checks in for Rosie Faljevic, and this is where if they're going to make their move, Danny Nong.
Yep, they've got a bit of firepower out there on the floor now.
There's Cox, runs herself into trouble, and we've got a contested possession, and it's a Danny Nong arrow.
And another possession that Todd Hunter's been involved in. She's certainly fired them up this quarter.
Danny Nong ball at the base. They trail by 15. 3:42 to play in the third. Todd Hunter. Wilson stays off her. Blitzards, the feed. Kennedy's got
great
the mismatch against Wilson.
Kennedy.
And the finish.
Great finish. Now, Danny Nong seems to be running their offense with a lot more conviction at the moment.
8 for Kennedy. Margin back to 13. And now a turnover. As Wilson missed with the pass. Novosel picked it off. Did she get contact? She did! Standish didn't need to contest that. Novosel was going to the basket. And now we're back to 11 and a chance to make it a 10-point ball game after it got out to as much as 19, Trace.
This is an amazing turnaround from the Rangers. Spearheaded by Amelia Todd Hunter. She's come up with a couple of big steals, drew a couple of fouls. The frustration causing Susie Bakovic to get a technical foul and her sitting out. This third quarter's been a real turnaround.
Claudia Brassard needing just to settle things down, just having a chat with their assistants, including NBL great Peter Crawford. And Claudia Brassard really just, we've only got a rear view of it, but you can tell that there's some animation.
You can see it.
About a discussion, and she's talking to a 5 at the moment that doesn't include Bakovic, so concerned about not getting Susie that 4th foul. So I suspect the next 3 minutes 15, Danny Nong need to make hay while the sun shines.
Absolutely, and she's not going to risk that 3rd foul. There's still a long last quarter to go, so I think, yes, these 3 minutes are super important for the Rangers to take advantage of that.
I hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're watching as much as we're enjoying bringing it to you. Stephen King and Tracy Browning, 5-time WNBL champion, in commentary tonight. And don't forget, we'll be back for the clash, the final round clash on what is Super Saturday in the WNBL. All 8 teams in action. in what is going to be an intriguing...
It's going to be a great day that day.
It'll be basically live stat screens at the ready.
Yes.
And wherever you can pick up live streams of games, we encourage you to do that. We'll definitely be bringing you the Perth game. You won't be here, Trace.
I won't be here, but I'll be watching on the live stream.
From
don't you
Japan.
worry. From Japan, yeah. I'm upset that I'm going to miss that game.
You'll be off-piste. Aren't you going skiing?
I am going skiing.
You'll be off-piste. Après ski, what do they call it?
Après ski.
Yeah. So the margin is 10. Novacell, who we said it had not much of an influence on the contest, now has 7. And the extended pressure up the floor nearly come up with a turnover. The pass intended for Cox nearly went through Cummings' hands.
You can just feel the intensity of this game has lifted.
Tough shot from Wilson, and Todd Hunter has got the rebound, and they quickly want to get away with it.
And
Blitzarves.
that's a great outlet pass from Cummings to Blitzarves.
Margin is 8. They are now on an 11-0 run after finding themselves on the end of a 14-0 run. Cox thought about the 3. Good screen from Garvin.
And we see Susie Bakovic over there about to come back in.
And we've got a foul against Jacinta Kennedy. That'll be the 4th team foul on the Rangers. Well, if this third quarter's delivered, what is the final term going to serve up? Bakovic is back, along with Mia Murray. And Standish and Amy Kane sit down, and as we said, they are only running with a 7-player rotation. Pelvast and Zelenka sit there in warm-up tops. Bakovic spin move. Oh, outstanding from Bakovic.
See, that's Kingy. That's where Todd Hunter should have doubled right down on that as soon as she got the ball.
She was off the floor for about 2 minutes and then steps straight back on and not only snaps the 11-0 run, but draws contact on a tough move. She's now got 22, and this to make the margin again 11. It's 23 for Susie Bakovic.
She's just been unstoppable.
And she's now guarding Blitzarves. So a smaller Danny Long lineup on the floor. Novacell pulled up her dribble and had nowhere to go for a little while. Blitzarves wanting to cross over and now nearly slipping over. Kept the dribble alive. Big shot from Blitzarves. Novacell flying through.
Tough rebound.
Alison Downey would have been proud of that. Just taking the hanger over the back. But they don't come up with it. And maybe that 3-point play just proving to be a settler. As there might be a turnover here. There is. Cox feigned to pass long and then passed into Murray, who lost control. Rangers get it back. So they cop a break there, Danny Nong. Todd Hunter. The feed from Blitzarves to Malott. Skip pass. Coming. Closed out by Cox. Still wants to take the 3 too long. Blitzarves got a piece of the offensive rebound, but Cox did well to hold things up for Townsville and avoid a second chance. Feed in for Garvin and nearly stolen as she pushed it back out for Mia Murray to Nat Novacell, who ends up on her own bench.
Still think the Rangers are trying to, the last couple of times, are trying to force that outside shot and instead of trying to get an open look inside.
Cox. Big 3. Massive 3 from Cox, who's now got 17. And the margin is back out to 14 in the blink of an eye.
Blink of an eye.
Todd Hunter could have taken it
Could have
herself.
gone all the way.
Coming, feet set for 3. Another 300 from Festool for the Unite project. That's 900. There's Bakovic. Nearly tackled by Cumming there. Murray got Novacell in the air, who recovered well. Cox, just passed. Malott and Blitzarves on the dribble.
Made them both look slow.
Got 19 now, Michaela Cox. The Kiwi has been outstanding tonight. Blitzarves. Will they look to take it at Bakovic in this final minute and maybe pick up that 4th foul? Novacell, that was a travel. Exactly the same as what was called earlier against Kelly Wilson. So the referee's consistent. Margin 13. And a turnover is coming.
Turnover.
Can they get a 2-for-1 here? Blitzarves, little crossover on
And that's
Bakovic.
beautiful.
That is nice to watch. She's got 20 now, Sarah Blitzarves. Margin 11. Would love a stop and a score here, the Rangers. Get it into single figures as we head into the final period. 10 on the shot clock. Wilson just retreats the dribble. Bakovic for 3.
Oh my
Susie.
God. That is
Oh,
amazing.
Susie. She's got 26.
So much pressure on that shot, and she made it look so easy. 26 points at three-quarter time.
5 seconds remaining. Cummings got it. Puts it on the floor. Can she get it to
And
fall?
that's a
She
beautiful
can.
shot from Steph Cumming right on the buzzer.
To make it a 12-point ball game. Cumming has got 14. And we are set for a big finish here at Dandenong Stadium. The margin might be 12, but the Rangers are playing with a little bit more intensity. They found themselves 19 down. They pulled it back to 8. It is now 12, and it's Susie Bakovic that is the difference. The 2 minutes she was off the floor is when they were making their run,
Yep.
and then she
came
came back.
in and made an immediate impact.
3-point play and knocked down a 3. Both teams at high quality in that third period, as we've got a little bit of a kickoff going on here between Elle Downey and Jed Buse, and they're trying to get it into the hoop. Now, Elle's overcooked the first kick. It's gone into the supports. Buse has just left it underneath, so not as accurate as his dad. And Trish Fallon just showing her skills.
Yeah.
Kicking it back. Downey,
I
and
think Trish Fallon would have made a good AFL player as well.
would have played in the ruck or a key position, no
Yeah,
doubt.
yep.
Buse, has he? No. Oh. So he split the difference between Elle Downey and Jed Buse. They're knocking it down. Elle's got too much
Yeah,
power,
it's
and
true. Yep.
Elle's overcooking
Let's see
it.
if she makes the adjustment here.
Oh,
Oh,
no. It was straight. Here's Buse. And he is well off the mark. Initiative involving Dandenong Basketball and also the Cotton On Foundation. So hopefully some money going to help tackle youth homelessness. 26,000 people under the age of 24 are sleeping rough every night in Australia.
yeah, and you're right, it's not acceptable, that amount of people sleeping rough. So, you know, the whole organisation here at Dandenong are very proud to be associated with this cause.
Susie Bakovic, 10 of 14 from the field at 71%. She's 2 of 3 from outside, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. But he's playing with 3 personal fouls, as there's nearly a turnover from the inbounds in this final quarter gets underway for McPherson and Kelly Solicitors. www.mk.com.au. Shot clock to 10. Oh, Wilson, a nice feed to Garvin, but well done by Novosel, who looked to get it
unlucky.
clean, but the referee
And there was another referee right there on the baseline
Referee
who
on the
didn't make a call.
baseline didn't call it, but referee Carey, who was on the trail, has made that call and seen contact, and that has seen Garvin sent to the line. Novosel, I don't think overly impressed with the call, but hasn't
I think
argued
the
the
contact
toss.
was minimal, if any.
You don't want, though, in a game like this where it has
Yeah.
been physical and a lot of stuff's been let
Yeah.
go, you don't want the trio in black and white having too much of an influence on the contest. Margin is 14. Garvin now with 6 points. Really need to make their run early here, the Rangers. Blitzarves making Bakovic work. This for 3. Off the mark.
Oh, great offensive boards from Novosel, who puts it back in.
She's got 9, and Kennedy gets in a tangle with Michaela Cox. There is a lot of physicality out there. These two sides have really gone toe-to-toe. Now they're trying to clear out and allow Susie to go one-on-one with Blitzarves down low. Dandenong really extending the pressure up the floor. Cox, who's liked it from outside. Garvin got Kennedy in the air, but travelled in doing so.
That could be a costly turnover there for Townsville.
Got to seize the opportunities that are presented
Yep.
to them. Townsville shooting the ball at 57%. Dandenong is shooting it at 47. Most games you will win shooting at that.
That's right. Townsville have just been superior in just about every category tonight.
64% from outside, coming off the dribble. Tough shot, got it to go.
That is an amazingly tough shot over Susie Bakovic from Cumming.
16 points for Cumming. Bakovic wants it down low. She gets triple
And-
coverage.
And that's what they need to do every time she gets the ball.
Wilson for 3. Blitzar's big rebound against Garvin and Murray. Margin is 10. Can they get it back inside double digits? Cumming, little bounce pass to Blitzarves, who'd flared and knocked it down. Sarah Blitzarves block. It's Cox, who's liked it from outside all night, and then there's going to be a foul under the basket. It's going to be against Novosel.
They did all the right things on defence, and the Rangers are unlucky.
So a fresh 14 as Novosel picks up her third, and it's the second team foul already. And we've barely gone 2 minutes in this final period for McPherson and Kelly Solicitors. High quality contest coming at you in round 17 of the WNBL season. Playoffs later this month. Cox in the corner, in and out. Garvin over the top with a big rebound, and then she's fouled on the way back up. And it might have been Novosel. No, in fact, it's Todd Hunter picking up the foul. And that's the third team foul, but it's Garvin to the line for a couple of free throws. And Lauren Scherf.
Lauren Scherf's coming back in. She hasn't played a huge amount of minutes tonight, so
has been really cited. Didn't start. Kennedy preferred in the 5 spot for the matchup. Has played just the 2 minutes as Garvin in and out with the free throw.
Maybe the idea is to get a fresh set of legs out there, run Susie down a bit. But she showed no signs of slowing down.
It'll be interesting to see what impact the lack of Natasha Cloud will have down the stretch in this one.
Yeah.
Cumming. Big going on off the ball between Blitzarves and Bakovic. Cumming wants to go past. Does so, pulls up for the jumper, is off the mark. Can she keep it alive?
Great effort from Cumming.
And Murray as well, who knocked it into the path of Kelly Wilson. Bakovic wants to see it down low, does so. Todd Hunter comes as double coverage. Bakovic's able to release back to Murray. Garvin skip pass to the corner. Cox feeds back to Garvin. And then the open look for Wilson for 3. Too long. And Novosel the rebound, pulls it in.
That's a tough board there from Novosel on the weak side.
Oh, Blitzarves screaming for it under the basket. Novosel didn't see her. Now went to make the pass. Can she keep it alive? Somehow does.
Fantastic second effort from Novosel.
Blitzarves tough from the corner, had too much on it all the way. And Murray, knowing that Amelia Todd Hunter was lurking, was very quick to pull it in and get the elbows out. Because she just bobs up on you as Bakovic somehow pulled that pass in. Murray for 3, bang! The margin is again 12, and Murray's got 16. They are 12 of 21 from outside.
That is a fantastic percentage. It's going to be very hard now.
Scherf, look at a 3, too long. Bit going on off the ball between Bakovic and Blitzarves. Referees don't see anything untoward. And sometimes you just want to let them play.
Yeah. Particularly in a game like this where it's been physical pretty much the whole game.
Cumming just knocks it away from Garvin, who was holding it above her head in the post. And they get it back, but they've got to get a move on here, Dandenong, if they're to stay in the contest. Scherf puts it on the floor, guarded by Garvin, goes strong. And that was always off the mark, and Todd Hunter knocked it away and had last touch.
I think Scherf might have stopped there expecting the foul, didn't get it.
Ali Malott back into the game. Novosel sits down, and it's Clydesdale for Todd Hunter. Townsville coming down here without Natasha Cloud. Has been their key playmaker in the absence of Kelly Wilson for a majority of the season. Wilson having to step up tonight, having not played great amount of minutes since coming back. And a travel from Mia Murray. Sarah Blitzarves just did enough.
Yeah, forced the travel.
Went flying through. Usually you don't want to close out that way.
She travelled to get out of her way.
I reckon if I had Sarah coming at me full pelt, I'd probably take a step sideways as well.
Is there enough time left, Kingy? Can the Rangers get up?
5:40 left in the last. Well, there is enough time, but we might be leaving it a bit late. Cumming, that's a tough shot. She wanted to draw contact and was never going to get that call. Cox. Murray thought about the extra pass and then took the three herself. Scherf the rebound. So not able to put them away yet, Townsville. So the Rangers stay alive, but have to start scoring themselves. Cumming goes with the step through and the left-hand scoop. He's off the mark, and Cumming has to pick herself up and dust herself off. And at the other end, Cox and Wilson exchange passes. Wilson's long shot off the mark. Garvin did very well to haul it in and get it back for another 14 seconds for Townsville. I know there's still plenty to play out in season 2016-17, but if tough move from Wilson, that had too much on it, and that should be a shot clock violation as Wilson went flying to the floor. If Townsville were to three-peat, they might look at this weekend as being a crucial one in their title defence.
As you say, there's still a lot to play out, but it's conceivable that they could do that, depending on results of other games.
Just build some belief out of wins on the road, especially when you're undermanned. But still 4:33 to play here too. Only needs a couple of big baskets from Dandenong.
Couple of steals, couple of threes, and the game's turned right around.
So 4:33 to play. The light just got a little nudge there from Standish. Novosel back on the floor. Little dish is nice for Todd Hunter, and she cuts it to 10.
Shot.
So margin's 10,
So
4:17 to play.
10 points is not impossible.
Well,
Still plenty of time.
ever since Nevada did to what they did to New Mexico in that
That's
college
right.
men's game, that was 14 points with just over a minute to play.
Yeah.
Standish, front of the rim, and big
Oh,
rebound
great
flying
boards,
through Novosel.
Fantastic.
Novosel lost control of the dribble. Can she get it back? It's going to be a contested possession. The arrow, though, with Dandenong.
That's a Ranger ball.
Just over dribbled it a little bit there that time, Novosel.
Ranger fans are
3:51 to play. 81-71.
just a little bit louder.
Townsville lead.
3 minutes 51 to go. Are you still with me out there?
We've been witness to a great performance from Susie Bakovic, who's now been employed as floor wiper. What can't she do?
Well,
Susie,
she certainly takes control out there, doesn't she?
Susie, I've got some floors at home that could do with a bit of a mop as well. You've got a spare chance in your break between games. Can you lob over to my joint? And you know what? Knowing Susie, they'd be spotless.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, and now referee Baddick,
Yep.
who I understand has never picked up a broom in his life. And he was quick to give it up. So 81-71, 3:51 to play.
Rangers ball from the baseline.
Susie Bakovic smiling with Sarah Blitzards. And the inbounds, and that will be a foul on Kelly Wilson, as Amy Clydesdale was denied her landing area.
And that's the first foul on Townsville in this period.
And just the second on Kelly Wilson. 15 left on the shot clock. 3:50 to play. A little handoff for Novosel. Thought about the shot. Now just has to give it back to Todd Hunter, who's got it with 4 on the shot clock. With the left hand, Amelia Todd Hunter.
Couldn't quite get it to drop over the long arms of Bakovic.
Yeah, too high off the glass. Margin still 10. You would think a Townsville basket here might put this one to bed. Standish, guarded by Malott. Kicks it back out for Wilson. 4 on the shot clock. Wilson goes baseline into the corner. Murray, extra pass. Cox, as the shot clock goes off in the background, she puts this one to bed. The margin is 13, and Michaela Cox has got 22.
She's had an outstanding game tonight, Michaela Cox.
The Oscar for Best Supporting Actress goes to Michaela
Yes.
Cox. As we're into award season in Hollywood. Nope, Sell with a 3 of her own. And the margin is 10, and she's got 12. So we're inside 3 minutes. And Wilson dribbles herself into trouble and now turns it over. Novacell and makes it 8, and maybe I've gone the early crow trace.
Maybe. There's still 2.5 minutes left to play.
Although it's a 2-on-1 at the other end of the floor. Bakovic pulls up for the jumper. And on the rebound
And the
contest,
arrow?
Clydesdale has
that's
knocked it out of floor, out of court.
Sorry, yes.
You thought maybe contested possession?
I did.
The arrow is with Townsville, unfortunately for you, Trace.
Wishful thinking.
2:28 to play. 84-76. Bakovic with the inbounds. Wilson. Bakovic, the jumper. He's off the mark. Novacell the rebound. Door remains slightly ajar for the Rangers. Blitzarves. Long 2. In and out. And that may have been the moment. And foul called by Todd Hunter against Murray. Just on that, Blitzarves takes a long 2. Is she better to take the step back and take the 3? The shot basically is a similar percentage shot.
And she can make those shots. She can make those 3-point shots. Susie Bakovic has played such smart D on her and has made her take that outside shot. Played a step back, hasn't let her drive to the hoop.
Coming in out a lot, giving up for Amy Clydesdale coming out.
So some strategic subs being made here by Larissa Anderson in terms of matchups defensively. And then when she gets the opportunity, wants Cumming in the game for her offense. Although Steph Cumming is the reigning defensive player of the year.
She is.
Margin 8, we're inside 2 minutes. Todd Hunter goes under the screen of Bakovic. Shot clock at 4, and Garvin gets in a tangle with Malott and will find herself at the line with a couple of free throws. Darcy Garvin playing a role with 7 points. So coming up for the Rangers, a tough double next week as Garvin misses the first of 2. They still haven't locked away a playoff berth yet.
No, not just yet. And next week, well, they play Townsville again next week.
Friday night in Townsville, Saturday night in Sydney, and then Perth to finish.
That is
They
incredibly
will
tough.
probably have to win at least 1. Margin is 9. Blitzarves is off with the 3. Although Murray's nearly lost control of it. She did lose it, but Garvin was able to hold it up. 1:30 to play. And the Rangers would need everything to go right if they would even push this into overtime. 7 on the shot clock. Cox lost control of it again, got it back. There was calls for a double dribble.
It looked like
Well,
it.
I think she might have had it knocked from her grasp, so that means the dribble resets. Either way, the margin's 11, and this one is done.
Yep.
Novacell's high shot. Bakovic gets herself a double-double with her 10th rebound.
What an amazing game she's had. Both ends of the floor.
And now it might just get into the foul situation, and that's what Ali Malott has just done. And we'll send Kelly Wilson to the line. So Kelly Wilson scored a 3 early, and we talked about that might get her into the game offensively, but she's had 7 assists. So I'm sure Claudia Broussard is more than happy with that. Mia Murray, great game from her. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. They have been outstanding. 22 assists, Townsville, tonight. They have recognised players in good position, especially in the post.
They're very smart offensively, Townsville.
And have absolutely smashed Dandenong in the rebound count. It's plus 16, 41-25. We're inside the final minute. And Novacell hooks it back out for Todd Hunter. For Townsville, well, they have got Bendigo tomorrow and go there full of confidence with this win under their belt. And then, of course, Dandenong on Friday night, which will become is a tiebreaker game now for the season series. Plenty riding on that. And then Canberra at home in the final round, which may also be a tiebreaker game.
Yes, yeah, it will. It might be too, you're right.
And
I think Larissa and the girls obviously will be pretty disappointed with this game today.
40.9 seconds remaining, and Claudia Broussard has called the timeout. 89-76. Her girls are safely home. And we can only but wax lyrical about the performance of Susie Bakovic.
Well, absolutely right. She's a superstar. She's a 4-time league MVP.
If anybody thought that Sammy Whitcomb was just walking in the MVP award, maybe Susie just sending a subtle reminder going, well, hang on, I'm the big dog around here.
Yeah, that's right. You're the rookie, I'm the veteran. I'm not done yet. I've still got another MVP in me.
Yeah, which would be outstanding if she could have, at age 36,
it would be phenomenal.
to add a fifth.
It's really quite, when you look at Susie and what she's done today and all this season, it's really quite inconceivable that she was not in the Olympic team. I don't want to open that can of worms, but, you look at her performances this season and you just think it's just incredible. At 36 years of age.
When do we let go of the fact that the Olympic campaign wasn't great?
Oh, no, I'm just saying, it's a talking point,
In 2020?
I know, and we need to move on from that. It's just a point I was making, and it's just incredible, really.
Yeah, you can't help but think she would have been handy in that quarterfinal.
A little bit handy, Out here and there for a player like Susie. Yeah, you can forgive that.
We've got a timeout called by Larissa Anderson. Obviously wants to use this opportunity maybe to draw up a play. It might be something that's in the works for the Rangers, but they trail by 13, 91-78, 23.1 seconds remaining. So Townsville, Sydney and Perth to finish for Dandenong, Bendigo, Dandenong and Canberra to finish for Townsville. But that Super Saturday, when we'll be back here, is just going to be something to behold. It's going to be there'll be a 6:30 tip local time in Melbourne for Dandenong and Perth. Then a 7 o'clock tip in Sydney local time between Sydney Uni and Adelaide. 7:30 in Melbourne. Melbourne play Bendigo, and then 7 o'clock local time, which is 8 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. You've got Townsville against Canberra. So it should just about see us. They want to keep fouling. And we've got 12.7 seconds remaining.
I suppose as players, you just want to keep giving it all even though you're not going to win. But I think for the sake of the game, it's probably better just to sort of let it play out.
They've just ran 7. And she now has 25. And Murray with 20. As we count this one down, Blitzarves, the 3 is off the mark, and that will do us. It's a wonderful win for the Townsville Fire, the reigning champs, the 2-time reigning champs. Don't discount them come March. They are well and truly in the mix. They are going to be dangerous, coming, you would think, from the bottom half of the top 4. They can still jag a top 2 finish.
They can, absolutely can.
But they will need to win tomorrow in Bendigo to keep that hope alive ahead of a clash with Dandenong next week.
And Bendigo need to win to stay in contention for that 4th spot. So tomorrow's game is going to be a blockbuster.
Absolutely, everything riding on it.
Yep.
Massive clash for the two sides. But here, Townsville just too good in the end. Dandenong threatening, but in the end it was that run, that 14-0 run through the midway point of the 3rd period that proved the difference in this one. And it was Susie Bakovic who rebounds and Mia Murray with 20 points and 7 rebounds. For the Rangers, 24 for Sarah Blitzarves to go with 4 points and a couple of dimes. 16 points for Steph Cumming, 5 assists. And Nat Novosel with 14 points and 7 rebounds here tonight. This is our penultimate game of the regular season for Rangers TV. We'll be back. Trace?
We will be back.
Well, you won't be.
I
will
won't
be.
We're back for the finals.
We will be looking forward to the play. Well, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, yes.
Still need to find a win.
Yes, that's true.
Still need 4 big games. We'll be across all of them, but we'll have a specific focus here at Dandenong Stadium. Trace, enjoy the trip to Japan.
I will, leaving next Friday night at midnight. So, yeah, I'm nervous. This is my first time skiing, but I'm excited as well.
Stay safe.
I will.
Look forward to seeing you through the playoffs. For the whole team here at Dandenong Basketball, we hope you've enjoyed our coverage. Thanks to Jayco, Australia's favourite caravan manufacturer, where the family holiday becomes a family tradition. Jayco.com.au. For all the team, I'm Stephen King. Tonight, it was the Townsville Fire 92, the Dandenong Rangers 78 on Rangers Live.